for the folks that were at Dreamforce that year that we launched and talked about Toyota Friend, I mean, you really think about that. Actually, that video gives me chills every time because Kiyo Toyoda-san is one of the most genuine people I've ever met. And he really cares about his employees so much that, you know, he rolled out, you know, Chatter internally to his 300,000 employees to really help, especially around when that earthquake happened, just knowing how people were doing okay. So it was actually really cool to see how Salesforce is really helping Toyota kind of change that. And this vision was back, like I said, 2009. And now we're seeing a lot of these connected cars that are out there with the dongles that are streaming out to the web, and it's really cool. And it's just great to see how that automotive industry is kind of bringing up their technology into the future. And you know, the reason why this was possible in building that vision and connecting the car to the Salesforce platform is to really understand the power of what we're calling the Salesforce advantage, right? The multi-tenant architecture, the metadata platform. I mean, it's just one of those things where when you understand the true value of what Salesforce is, then and how all of these apps are integrated together and how we can circle around the end user and the customer and really having that one-to-one personalized journey for each single person out there, I mean, Salesforce is quite incredible. And I mean, I know I sound like a commercial, but I mean, I truly 150% believe that with absolute passion and conviction. So number two, keep your saw sharp. And I think about this all the time because, you know, it's crazy. There's so much happening in the world that a day like today, this is where you're sharpening your saw. So you got to get out there and really understand what other people are doing, what you can help transform in your own business. And I kind of think about it in these ways. I'm always furiously and with passionately learning, and I'm curious about everything that's going on. I love to understand, meet new partners, meet new customers, understand their success stories, what they're going on. I love to network, especially with the customers. And this, in that photo, that's Ulrich Nieheimer, which is the CEO of Coca-Cola Germany. And we were talking about what he was doing with his distributors and how he was building apps, and that was actually, you know, he's making decisions now because his people are out in the workforce, out in the field, basically bringing all that data back to headquarters. And then the last piece too is building innovation. So the demo team that I helped create at Salesforce, I kind of equate it to, like, you know, the James Bond movies in the Q lab, right? Where we're always, you know, looking at the latest technologies, we're looking at the robots that are out there. And one of the momentous days that were happening in the labs was when we were able to connect a drone to the Salesforce One mobile app and actually be able to control the drone from Salesforce through the open APIs. And it was one of those things where we were like, oh my God, we got to put this in the Dreamforce demo. I don't even know where, but we're going to figure it out. So I actually convinced Ulrich to go, hey, you know, I know this is a vision, and I know this is probably what not you guys are going to do, but, you know, obviously you can ship, you know, packs of Coke to your customers, you know, via like, you know, car or by freight or whatever. But how about if we were to do it by drone? And that's what we did last year on stage at Dreamforce, was deliver a Coca-Cola to Parker on stage at Dreamforce. And honestly, that was probably one of the most scariest moments in my life because there have been accidents out there. I don't know if don't even Google it because it's nasty, where people have cut their fingers off with drones. And so my headline in my head was, Dan Darcy kills the Dreamforce demo. Like, and I was thinking, I'm like, I don't want to kill Parker. So we practiced that. We made sure that that thing did not fail, but it was pretty awesome. So keep your saw sharp. And there's so many resources that are out there for you. As you can see here, get Salesforce certified. I really cannot express this enough. I'm also helping oversee our certification and our Salesforce University program. And we're really doing a lot to revamp that, and we're doubling down. So I'm really excited about that. We're going to be launching at Dreamforce kind of all new certifications, and, you know, not all new certifications, but we're going to be focusing and doubling down on making these more user-friendly, because I know we just haven't invested in it as a company, and I'm super excited about that because, you know, For the folks that have been out there that are like CCNAs or MSCE like certified, we're going to make the Salesforce certification just as popular, if not more popular, and like a badge of honor. I mean, it is a badge of honor now, but even more badge of honor for the future. So get Salesforce certified. Read the release notes. I really can't tell you enough. That's just skimming those is really good to kind of see what the hell's coming out. And then also play around in that kind of dev org or your sandbox and get that, that's where the labs piece is just always continue to build and just see what you can do with the latest technologies. A couple of things too is this year we also launched Trailhead, which is a great kind of lightweight learning management system built, yes, Trailhead. Adam Seligman would love that. Which is built on Heroku, and it's super excited because these trails are like super exciting and easy ways to learn on that learning journey. It's crazy how we haven't been able to come out with that until now. I'm actually really happy we have Trailhead, and you're gonna see for the folks that come to Dreamforce, it's gonna be a huge like exhibition. Like you're gonna have like park rangers and bears and lions. Anyway, it's gonna be fun. And then the amazing admin team, and Chris Landy is here today. Yes. Okay, give me a second. And all of the information that they put at admin.salesforce.com. Sarah Franklin, they've been really doubling down on the admins, which I love to see, and giving out those awards at each of our world tours. Third is about storytelling. I cannot express enough how storytelling is key in really helping ignite that culture of change and really being able to express what you're trying to do and your vision and trying to change with the Salesforce platform. It really comes down to storytelling and really understanding the personas and the use cases for what you're trying to solve and creating that storyboard across that. And I kind of want to talk about a story of, the tale of two demos, which was clappies versus kind of telling a story. When I first joined Salesforce, George Hugh it was 2008. He was on stage kind of talking about amazing things and like this feature and that feature, and you guys put it on the App Exchange, we were listening to you and we delivered it. And those were amazing, and that's what they were amazing innovations, but we called those clappies because it was like a golf clap. Yeah, thank you, finally you did it. I can't believe it took you that long. But like, congratulations, great job. But then at some point we started realizing these clappies and these features that we're pulling together really kind of tell more of a bigger story. And they tell more of a story around who we're trying to solve for. And it's like, how do we make admins' lives more easier? How do we make the end user, the sales rep, the customer service agent, the marketing person, their lives more easier? And how can we tell that story and really create a vision for what we do on stage? So you'll notice for the folks that have been around with Salesforce for a long time, at around 2009, 2010, we started talking about what our customers were doing and talking about a story of how we were trying to do things differently. And what was great about that too is we got away from the clappies, and the admins it was great to hear their feedback. They said you're not staying true to the core, so we obviously developed the True to the Core program as well internally, which is great because we want to listen to you. But telling a story is so important because you really have to, again, understand exactly what you're trying to solve for. And everyone asks me, and Peter Coffey does a great storytelling thing too that I'm excited to kind of capture for a lot of our sales reps. People ask me, well, how do you come up with your storyboards and how you think about, when you're working with customers or when you're working on business problems internally at Salesforce? And I said, I have it in 4 phases, and here it is in a very simplified manner, and we'll put this on the success community so you guys can take a look at it. But the first piece is obvious, research and discovery. Really understand what problem you're trying to solve, get to the why, understand the technologies that are surrounding the problems that you're trying to solve, understanding all those kind of discovery type questions, and really keep asking questions to fully understand the business transformations and the drivers that you're trying to figure out in working with your customers or working internally in your own business. And then the next piece is to ideate and innovate. And this is the piece where you start thinking about, okay, well, what persona am I trying to fill? Is it an end user? Is it a sales rep? Is it a customer service agent? Is it all 3? And how do we build 3 different vignettes? And how do those vignettes all connect together around, a customer or their customer? And so thinking about that storyboard and building out that storyboard, then you have to actually start thinking about the screens and the things you have to start building. And you keep kind of pitching that, and you keep telling that story, and you get that story together, and you keep refining it, and it keeps refining. And I'm telling you, like, I'll tell a quick story about that in a little bit with Chatter, and how we actually were helped to use that process to really get Chatter built at the company. Number 4, keep yourself surrounded with like-minded people. And you guys are doing an absolute fantastic job today with doing that, which is awesome to see you guys all coming together and really collaborating and networking. But this is so important because, you know, it's not just me who was helping ignite a culture of change. It was this team behind me that really helped change how we thought about visions and how we thought about demonstrating our stuff at companies and how we work with our customers and really applying the Salesforce suite of apps and platform to our customers' problems. And so when I say this is like, you know, surround yourself with people, and even if they don't report into you, that's fine. Influence them, bring them into the conversation, help solve their problems with the Salesforce platform. And with that, you kind of continue to grow that network of people who can help you ignite and continue that culture of change within your company. And the success community, and I'm sure you guys are all very aware of this. You guys are all participants in this. This is awesome, 1.6 billion users and growing, and it's continuing to grow, and we're continuing to invest in the success community to get that out there. So continue to network and continue to talk to people about Salesforce and understand, you know, what you can do within your company to ignite that change. And of course, Dreamforce. So how many of you have not been to Dreamforce? Raise your hands. Wow, okay, we need to get you guys to Dreamforce. Because for the folks that have been there, it's one of those things where, I mean, it's kind of a weird, I can't even explain it. It's kind of like a Burning Man of cloud computing, or, okay, maybe like a Woodstock of cloud computing. But it's super exciting to be surrounded with all of these amazing people, and it's literally 4 days of intense, like, networking fun. I lose my voice at the end of it. Everyone gets sick after the end of it. I mean, it's just one of those things where you kind of leave it all at the conference. And I mean, I really hope you guys can all come to Dreamforce this year. But that's where you can really get out there. I mean, we even brought in a carnival ship for more rooms because the capacity in the Bay Area is so packed. And I'm sure Airbnb is out there too. So, and then today, actually, we have these circles of success, kind of smaller groups that you can connect with like-minded users around different projects and things that you're faced with in your daily lives. So really take advantage of the circles of success that's happening today at Midwest Dreamin. Number 5, my favorite one. Embrace the haters, right? Haters are always going to hate. And it's one of those things where I've learned that, you know, if you don't embrace the haters, it's going to take you down. And you got to understand that the haters have, you know, I mean, they're not hating, they have a point of view that is important that you're not listening to. And so it's one of those things where, you know, it was a good lesson to learn in embracing the haters, and I'll tell you why, because Chatter actually almost did not become a product within the company, right? Can you imagine Salesforce without Chatter? I mean, maybe some of you can, but I mean, the thing is, I mean, Chatter has really transformed how we think about, you know, communities, how we think about collaboration and being social. And the story of Chatter was interesting because I worked for CMO Craig Swensford at the time, who did a lot of the presentations and demos, as some of you recognize. And he had this idea where if you saw that screen of Salesforce back in the day where it was just all lines of text and everything, you know, you had a user ID inside of Salesforce. And that user ID inside of Salesforce really meant nothing. You were just another number inside the Salesforce database. It didn't even matter. But what if you were to put a profile picture next to that user ID? Holy shit. That everyone like uproar. There was like no one's like, no way, we're gonna do social inside enterprise applications and blah blah blah. Well, it was kind of one of those things where we got a lot of that hater feedback to really help craft and draft a prototype of how Chatter can really effectively help change your business and talk about objects talking to you and letting you know when things are happening and being informed. And so what we were able to do with all of that hater feedback, we were able to convince Mark and the executive team to really stop everything that we were doing in R&D at that point and shift everyone in R&D to Chatter. Now, obviously that was like a crazy change within the company because, obviously we wanted to continue to invest in, Sales Cloud, Service Cloud, etc., the platform. But that kind of momentum and change and igniting that culture of change really had to come by understanding the feedback that's out there from a lot of the people that were against the social collaboration inside our enterprise platform. And that change of actually putting you being a human being inside of Salesforce and not a user ID was a shift in the paradigm of thinking of how we did things at Salesforce. So that was a pretty cool thing in really embracing the haters. And at the end of the day, all haters just need a hug, right? So, and you gotta go, yes, we were listening to you. Thank you so much, hater 1, hater 2, yes, we're listening to you as well. And you actually did help us give more feedback because when objectives would come, we would overcome those objectives. And so that was kind of one of those cool things that, where I say, in really helping ignite a culture of change, you gotta embrace the feedback that's coming. So those are my 5 tips for igniting a culture of change within your company. It's all in the vision. Keep your saw sharp. Storytelling is key. Surround yourself with like-minded people and embrace the haters. So I want to thank you guys for coming, but a couple of things for the folks that have not been to Dreamforce. There's a special conference code to get $100 off. So if you guys want to write that down, it's DF15MWDRM to get $100 off to come to Dreamforce. And I hope to see you all there. It's going to be exciting with a bunch of Foo Fighters. We also have kind of another secret second guest that's also coming that is open to everyone. But we're going to announce that later. And what is any presentation but having one more thing? So I'm actually going to go rogue here a little bit before we get to this one more thing. She's going to hate me for this. I want to, Chris, stand up. Don't hate me.
Woo! Chris!
I want to introduce everyone to Chris Landy. No, turn around. Okay, Chris Landy helped me prepare this presentation. No, just keep standing. And I know we're all a family here. We're a family at Salesforce. She absolutely missed her birthday on Tuesday to help pull this all together. I feel terrible, but I want you all to help me in thanking her and sing happy birthday to her.
Woo!
Midwest Dreamin happy birthday to Chris. So here we go. 1, 2, 3.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Chris. Happy birthday to you.
And I really appreciate all the time you put into this. So look under your seat. I actually have, here it is. Giveaway for 4 of these big sassy dolls.
Woo!
And hopefully you guys get that. It's in a blue envelope underneath your seat, and if there's empty chairs, I would walk around and take a look at those empty chairs as well too. I think we're training everyone to never look under their chair before they sit down. Is there anyone? Brian! Alright! Don't you have enough of these? Just kidding. This is great. We have 3 more. So anyway, once you guys find that, I want to thank you all for coming out today. Have an incredible day of learning and fun and networking. And thank you very much, Midwest Dreamin, for having me here. Take care.